So the first one we have is named Mr. Big. It's the drink, right? Look at this. I fucking bookmarked it this time, so I'm gonna go search. And I brought the book.
Right.
We're improving here, boys. Shaken, drinking with James Bond.
Oh, you got shaken.
Yeah, I got shaken, dude. Check it out. Mr. Big. All right, that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay. What does yours look like? Because I saw a glimpse of it. I saw a glimpse, and I'm going to tell you, mine looks different. Okay. This one obviously isn't a goblet, so you can't even see what the hell it looks like, right? But, you ready for mine? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yep.
Check that out. What do you think about that?
That definitely looks a little different.
There's not a lot of liquid, bro. Like, does yours have a lot of liquid? So the recipe in the book, all right? The recipe in the book says some kind of room, RHUM, Barbancourt, 15-year-old. But you read the description up here, and it says it's from Haiti. Okay. Don't have it here in America. I'll tell you what. So, the other liquor in it, it was a ounce and a half of that, and 3/4 ounce of dark rum. Myers dark rum, but I used bamboo. I used 2 ounces, so I just kind of combined it and added a little extra. Fun fact was that I only had 2 ounces left in this bottle. So perfect, right? This is if you're day one listeners like me, maybe you, I don't know, Mike. I know Kevin, you've been listening to all the drinks, or not all the drinks, all the episodes lately, but this is the same bottle that I made from episode 2, the Back to the Future. It's the same rum.
No, I was not on that one.
You were not on that one, were you?
Nope.
That was just me and Chris, I think. But
I didn't get the invite.
I'm sorry. Well, now you have one. You want to talk about time travel movies, Mike? We could do that sometime. How's that? I love time travel. I love mindfucks and shit, so we can do that.
Yeah, like Inception.
Yeah, jot that down. Just jot that. Is it Inception? That's dreams, dude.
Same thing.
Not time travel. It's different.
Interstellar?
Not time travel.
It's time travel.
Kind of in the I guess technically we're time traveling right now, brother.
We'll talk about it.
So the next ingredient is half ounce of chili and hibiscus syrup. All right, and you got to make simple syrup, and you basically infuse it with a bird's eye chili, and hibiscus flowers. Now, I got a Fresno just like you did.
Okay, cool.
Because you said you got a Fresno, and I didn't buy shop yet, so I wouldn't got it. I found the hibiscus, and I think it was dried blackberry tea. Okay. I paid $10 for it at the Whole Foods.
Yeah, it's aggressive.
It's aggressive, but that was the only things. The things I do for this show. Okay?
Yeah, me too.
Basically, just go broke. So, the next ingredient was, this is what I want to talk about. The half ounce of orange sherbet.
Yeah.
Now, did you read where it says, see page 9? You probably didn't, because you didn't have the book. I did.
Right.
What do you think sherbet is, guys? What do you think sherbet? When I say sherbet, what do you think?
It's a kind of like an ice cream. There's juice and milk in it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Good description. According to this, page 9, it says, orange or blood orange sherbet. Place the peel of 6 fruits in a bowl with 9 ounces of sugar. Set aside for 1 hour. Then add 9 ounces of juice from the fruit. Dissolve the sugar and then strain.
Hey, based on that description, I fucked up.
Same. Turns out I put regular sherbet in mine as well, from Kroger. So
mine was from the
I've never heard sherbet be called, like, that's like a different word, man. That's a different thing. This is okay. So the disclosure: this was written by Bar Swift from Soho, London. All right, I've been there. Just saying, but maybe it's different over there. Like sherbet. Okay, lemon juice. I got lemon juice, and I didn't put any bitters or orange peel because I thought I had orange peel, but producer Brandy chopped them all up the other day, and I had no idea.
So this really sad abomination. I did not have an orange, but this is from a clementine.
Oh, I think I'll allow it. That's okay.
Thank you.
It's fair.
I
So,
tried.
and mine's the. I will say though, the syrup looked great when I pulled. Did you set it overnight or something to like get it red, Mike? Did you
All right, I'm
follow
not-
the instructions?
Okay, no, not even a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. So
Okay, you go. Because I took it and I shook it all up, and then the sherbet gets stuck in the fucking shaker because everything was freezing to it. Oh my god, it was a bitch. So I had to like strain it. There'll be a video online. Don't worry. I'm gonna take a sip while you tell me about yours.
So like I said, I made enough for 2. So I did 4 ounces of Kraken rum, and then I did lemon. I did lemon juice. I did bitters, but I didn't get the fancy bitters. I just used whatever.
Oh, you did use bitters? I didn't use any.
I did use bitters. And then for the simple syrup, so I had told you not on the pod that I had an issue finding the dried hibiscus. So I found a raspberry hibiscus tea. I didn't make this last night, the simple syrup. I got really fucking lazy. So what I did was
shocker.
I know.
No, fucking.
Hey, I'm drinking. I have a drink,
Yeah. I got liquid.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I mean, what was it, like 3 or 4 drinks ago?
No.
You're like, hey, what'd you make? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't.
Well, I thought we were getting better at that. I thought that was the whole point of communication.
We are, I think. But okay. So
I thought so too, but
I have pre-made simple syrup, so I just added that.
Yeah.
And then I steep my tea in the simple syrup, lemon juice, and alcohol.
You steeped your tea bag.
Yep.
Dipped it right in there.
Yep. And then while that was steeping for 15 fucking minutes, I made a nice little slit on my pepper, and I threw that in there. And then when I was done steeping the tea, I put the pepper on the rim.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
you peppered your rim.
Yep. And
give someone a nice little surprise when they go down there.
And then I gotta be real with you. I almost never shake my drink. I'm a stirred guy.
Okay.
So I stirred her up real good, got a little, and then from there I just
Can I ask why?
I have no fucking clue. I'm gonna say laziness.
I think it's easier to shake.
But then
I don't know.
have to put it in a shaker.
Ah, well, I see what you mean there.
Yeah, I just throw my stirrer in there and just, like a tornado. And then from there, last thing was just I just got a good scoop of sherbet and just put it on top, and that's why you can still see
Mike, that looks like you shit in a cup.
like
I'm not gonna lie to you.
So
I don't know how, man. This is a couple drinks where mine look a lot prettier than yours.
I don't know how mine is so dark. I don't know if it was the
it's a
tea.
tea bag, baby.
Rum. I don't know if it's the fact that I haven't stirred up my sherbet.
So it was funny. I was gonna say that when I did the syrup.
Yeah.
And I made the syrup and I put it in a measuring cup and then I put the hibiscus and the chili, chopped it up and put it in there. And then I took it out in the morning and it was like, it's red. It looked great. So that's probably why you don't have the color, because you didn't like steep it in,
It's possible.
What do you think? I saw you sip it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually really like this.
I think it's pretty good. I was gonna say, did you get heat on yours or?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like I'm sure if you.
A little hotter.
Well, it depends on the pepper, right? I think if you had the bird's eye chili, I don't know if anyone's ever had it out there. You let us know what it tastes like. I think I might have had it on like a
Well, I'm
Like
just
I think it was
saying.
like carpaccio or some shit, like some raw tuna or some shit, and they're like, hey, here's a little bit of pepper, spice on it.
I'm just saying, like the way you actually made the simple syrup. I
Mm.
feel like yours is probably a little spicier because I don't think I fully had enough time for
Yeah, I
the
got you. Yeah,
yeah.
but you rimmed your glass though. That's like an instant spicy butthole. Instant spicy rim from spicing your rim. It's the second law of thermodynamics. I'm not sure, right? It's the law of physics. Whatever when you spice a rim, the rim will be spicy.
I think that's the fourth.
That's the new one. We just made
Yeah,
that one up.
yeah,
Jot
because
that
we
down. Write that
we
down.
already
Yeah,
have three. We added the
yeah.
fourth.
The gin and sofa. The number one law of gin and sofa. When you spice a rim,
Your butthole hurts.
yes, you get whatever you do to your rim will be on your rim until it's off the rim. So I think it's we didn't use the right sherbet, right? But I
Nope.
still think it's good, and I think it's great. I think this is actually pretty damn tasty. What are you doing there?
Oh, I'm starting.
Okay. I see. So I'm thinking I'm gonna put this as probably my favorite, second favorite. Oh my god, that was loud. Sorry. Um. Yeah, I don't even really like spicy like margaritas and shit, but I'm down with this.
Down the clown. Also, when we were talking, like I told you, I did pick up that Boomba rum.
Bamboo.
Yeah, Bumble.
Hmm.
I saw it because the what was it like a cross or an X on it? It
Yeah,
looked cool.
like crossbones, kind of.
Yeah, it looked kind of Caribbean. And I was like, oh, this isn't just your run of the mill rum. That'd probably be good. But kind of like I told you, if it's not for like a drink, like for gin and sofa, I'm not really a rum guy, and
Yeah.
there's probably like no reason to it. Like,
I mean,
yeah,
I've had this for 3 years. Speaking
yeah,
of, it's been 3 years. February 22nd, I believe. It's been 3 years since the first episode came out. So,
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. And then celebrate, I'm going to finish off that bottle. So, with 2 ounces. So, yeah, like, I mean, I don't drink the rum either like that, So, like, although I remember this being really good. Like, I like that it came in like a decently small bottle. So, that way I don't have a gallon of rum when I don't drink rum.
Right.
But, don't mind the noise. I'm just throwing shit everywhere. So, what do you think about it? What are you ranking it? High, low, middle? This is
Okay.
the eighth drink, right?
Yep. This, I feel like I'm going to kind of break my my unwritten rules, because generally I rank a drink higher if because I kind of base it off of can I drink this all night?
Yeah.
This I probably wouldn't want to. However,
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 4.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and that's actually
Perfection.
that's kind of a big deal because I don't really do that very
It's a
often.
big deal, everyone. Pay attention. Heads up. Mike's
Yeah,
giving it fours.
this is currently my number one drink, and
Okay. Yeah.
giving it a 4.
I was say I can't remember what my number one drink was, but I think it might have been that peppermint one. This is up there. This is top 3. This might be 2. Oh, sorry everyone that's not watching. So yeah, that's the drink, Mr. Big. Started. So today we're gonna talk about 1973's Live and Let Die, the first Roger Moore outing, James
Yeah.
Bond, 007, MI6 agent. So, little fun facts. Budget, $7 million.
Yep.
Little bit about the same as the last one. The box office, you want to guess?
I looked it up. I didn't write down. Was it 151?
161. You're one digit off.
All right.
A little bit about the same, actually, as Diamonds Are Forever. So, pretty status quo there.
Yeah.
Remind me after we talk about it, unless you want to know now what the Rotten Tomatoes is.
Yeah, tell me now. I'm sure it wasn't good.
So the critic score 67%,
Okay. And
which
was
is a
that
little.
back in the day, or was that relatively
That's like
recent?
relatively now. I think when you go on Rotten Tomatoes, you can just add more reviews, right? And it goes up. So audience score 64%. So about the same as the critics. They're both slightly better than Diamonds Are Forever. Diamonds was like high 50s. So okay. Um okay. Directed by Guy Hamilton.
Hmm.
Again. He's the same one that directed Diamonds Are Forever and Goldfinger. All right. What I noticed, that's all I have for the preamble. Did you have more you want to add about the pre-production?
As far as pre-production, no, but would you like to talk about Roger Moore right now, or once we get into it?
Um, you mean like as how he was?
No. Oh, okay. I'll just get into it. So, Sean Connery in uh, Diamonds Are Forever was what, 41
He looked
ish.
like he looked like he's like
Yeah.
51. But yeah,
I mean,
okay.
he looked old as fuck, but he was
Yeah.
like 41. In this movie, Roger Moore was 45.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's right. I did see that. I did see he was older, but he looked younger.
he did. He was very, charismatic. I mean, Sean Connery looked like he lived a hard fucking
Yeah.
life. Like he used
Yeah.
his body like a porta potty, you know.
Yeah.
And Roger Moore looked like, like he was a little pampered, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He actually cared about himself.
And then
Yeah.
the only, because I mean, obviously, like Roger Moore is like 58 when he does his last fucking movie, and I'm like, dog, he looks old
Yeah.
as dirt. But the Bond girl, did you look up how old she was in this movie?
Which one?
Jane Seymour,
Oh yeah, I didn't look up. She was 18, 21,
22.
22. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't even know.
So
Ooh.
I think it gets worse as the movies go with him.
I,
Like that gap.
well, I mean, I will say before I watched this movie, this is one of the ones I remembered. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's because, obviously we're going to get into it, but I think it was because of location and plot. But
Yeah.
I did remember this, and I remember liking it back in the day. So I was really interested, how I enjoyed it, actually watching it again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think I'll say at the end what I remember watching this, of course. But okay, so the first note I got is that the gun barrel sequence is different.
mhm,
Yeah. Why do you take? Wow.
just try to get a little more
Wow.
spice to,
Mm,
my
yeah.
drink.
Yeah. You could just throw it in the glass. You could do that.
I'm a presentation guy.
Yeah, you're a showman. The
Yeah.
greatest showman on earth is Mike's
Yeah, it's like
rim.
me, Hugh Jackman,
Yeah, that's it.
and then
Nobody
Sack
else.
Efron is underneath me.
Well, you're in between them, huh?
Yeah, I'm getting sandwich.
Yeah, of course. Hugh Jackman better be on. Yeah, he better be on top.
He's,
So
he's Wolverine.
yeah, he can do whatever he wants. Um, so different gun barrel used. The tune was a little different,
Okay.
but that's because I learned that John Barry wasn't doing the music this time.
Yeah, it was a different guy that scored it.
Yeah, so you could tell it's like a different, same theme song, different twang to it, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay, so then it opens up with a bunch of dudes just getting murdered, and I thought they were just. I was gonna say though, like they couldn't put any money into this murder scenes because the snake.
Okay, that is the fakest snake bite I've ever seen.
Yeah,
However, I
yeah.
will say the middle death, where
The
uh,
funeral, or is that
yeah, the funeral where we later find out that the guys that were getting gutted were
MI6?
MI6
Mm-hmm.
agents. But yeah, the second guy is just sitting at in New Orleans, watching the front of a club or business, and the funeral comes by, and he's sitting there, and someone stands next to him, and he's just like, "Oh, who's the funeral for?" And the guy's just like, "You." Fucking pulls out a knife and just fucking guts him,
Bro.
And then he falls in the street, and they bring the coffin and just set it over him, and then he disappears. And I'm like,
He becomes one with the coffin, bro.
and I'm watching this, and kind of what you were saying, like, you can have a bigger budget. I was fucking terrified. Like,
also, he got the knife was like that big, and he was like, and he's like, oh damn,
yeah, like
that's it.
Like he instantly died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it's the same thing with like the snake bite hit him in the mouth. And he's like, oh, he was dead too. And then the guy, I was like, he died of I think I said death by translation because the dude's ears blew out.
I said he died from ear fuck.
That's fair. He got ear fucked pretty bad. He was just, I was like, God damn. Okay. So they show these three dudes die. And then they go into the
flat of James
Bond. Well, before that, the opening sequence. The title sequence. The song.
Is this the most favorite or famous Bond song?
Maybe. It's up there. I mean, like, you can't say that Adele is not probably super famous. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I'm not talking about the because Live and Let Die was
Paul McCartney,
played by Paul McCartney.
Mm-hmm.
Which, fun fact, I don't know if you know this, but I saw him in concert.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, back in 2015, I went to a music festival up in Delaware called Firefly, and he was one of the headliners. And I was convinced that this old fucking kooky Brit was lip syncing because he had a little bit of like Ozzy Osbourne going to him, where like dude like said words and it was just mush coming out.
Who,
and then
McCartney?
Yeah.
Oh
and
yeah.
then
Well, then you get old.
He sang beautifully, and I was like, "Are they
something's
wrong?" But
yeah, something's off.
But then he started ad-libbing, and he still sounded really good. I'm like, okay, he just knows how to sing. He just can't fucking talk.
He can't talk. He can sing though. He's okay.
Yeah, but
I would say it's pretty famous. I don't know, top 5 famous Bond songs could be. I think, however, parts of it fit, and other parts didn't fit. It was kind of weird.
Did you notice during the intro scene that the girl dancing around was fully topless? Like they were showing straight up nipple.
No, I have to go rewatch this then.
And
I have to go check it out.
I'll
be right back.
I felt like they snuck a lot of titties in this movie. So,
oh, really? I mean, they got away with it in Diamonds Are Forever with that pool scene.
Well, they're
just pushing the boundaries.
I don't know if you noticed, but later in the movie, when one of the gals went down in the boat and she was getting changed, they had naked girls, plastered on the wall.
So there was titty.
Yeah,
all over the wall.
They were definitely getting away with a little subtle nip,
Some nip, subtle nip, slip nip.
But
well, what did you think about the theme song and title sequence?
I mean, the Beatles are actually, as far as like classic music, it's one of my top 3.
Technically, it was Wings, but okay.
Well, sure. I mean, Paul McCartney and Wings.
Sure, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
He's a fucking Beatle. Like,
so, but you know what I mean by like how it kind of fit. It fit when it's like Live and Let Die. That part was like, oh man, it's like creepiness, and then like the do, right? But then it gets in this weird like happy-go-lucky sequence after that until it goes right back to it, and I was like, this part doesn't fit.
I think it does.
Okay.
And
okay,
I'm gonna say one word, and we'll get into it. But teehee.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
We'll get into it.
Okay.
We'll get into it.
All
God damn it. Okay, so that was 2 words, but anyway, so he.
No, it's one word. It's
T space he.
It's one word.
I actually did write probably one of the more famous theme songs. Okay, so then they open up in his flat, And my first thought is this is a very different vibe than when Lazenby took over. They
Yeah,
they just kind of just didn't say anything. It was just like he's Bond. You know what I mean?
they gave him nothing. There was, and they so I actually I listened to reviews of like the movie, not necessarily to gauge how I feel about it, but just
Hmm.
see how other people. And I also listen because like I watch the fucking movie, but sometimes I forget things, and
Right.
my
Or you
notes are
don't
not
pick up something. You know.
good as yours. However, uh, they definitely called out in the review that I listened to, like the contrast, and it was kind of a with Lazenby they made a big deal about a new Bond, and this one they're just like
Right.
like let's do this.
Yeah. So like I thought like it was very peculiar. Like they just said fuck it, it's Bond. What do you think about his place?
They spent so much time showing his fucking cappuccino maker. It's kind of what I thought it was gonna be. It looked like a early '70s, bachelor pad.
Yeah, it was just like check out my fucking coffee machine, and I was like, wow, I didn't know Bob was such a coffee snob. I'm about it though.
Was this the first time we've ever seen Bond's home?
I think so. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and then I thought it was a little weird just because we've never seen Bond at home. I thought it was a little weird that M just like rolled the fuck up. You
Yeah,
know?
I was like, I was kind of weird that he didn't go to the office. You know, he was just like, hey, dude, it's like middle of the night. I'm sure you're
Yeah.
slamming, but we need you, you know, or whatever. And I'm like, okay, sorry, give me one second. I'm trying to tell everyone we're live, even though
Okay.
we've been live. But
So this was as he's rolling in. This was our first bang.
yes,
Well,
I got that written
ish.
down.
Um, because they definitely bang after M leaves, but I assume they had already banged. Um,
Oh yeah, they banged, 100%
also,
bang.
also, why were they being so secretive about this girl being there? Like, if I was M and you were Bond, like I already
You
know
already know.
I
Yeah,
already know you're a fucking womanizer. Plus, if I'm rolling up at your house, at like 2 in the morning, like what would I fucking expect? You know?
right. You're James fucking Bond, dude. Like, okay, I'm so surprised as a woman, and then like, really, I agree with that. Like, what are you worried about, dude? And Moneypenny was helping him out. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, something that I
Hmm.
should have figured out this reviewer that I listened to. I actually like the dude. He wears a white tuxedo when he talks. I don't know if you listen to reviewers on Bond movies, but
I do. I do. There's a few
I'll
guys.
I'll jot his name down next time just to give him a shout out because I actually find him
So
entertaining.
I mean, it might be the same guy.
Does he wear a white
He
tuxedo and
does. He's a little
relatively
skinny dude.
younger, like
Yeah,
early 20s?
yeah, a little skinny dude, Brit guy.
Yeah, probably the same guy.
Maybe his name's Calvin Dyson.
Okay, well, shout out to you. You said Calvin Dyson.
Calvin Dyson.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
that's
no
who.
fucking reason you listen to us. I find you very entertaining, but yeah, he called out
Is it this
money.
guy? Was it this guy?
Yes,
Yeah, Calvin Dyson. Yeah, I watch all
I,
his fucking videos. Dude.
he's very entertaining. But yeah, he kind of called out that one Roger Moore and the actress that played Moneypenny were friends in real life, and then
Okay.
two, he called out that it was kind of less of like a cat and mouse chase of this like sexual tension and kind of
Hmm.
more of like a sibling banter. And
Yeah, I could see
I
that.
picked up
Like,
on that.
but like, it was interesting because like, was one movie different from her trying to like really get like marry him, right? You know, like. But okay, so now like, so he tells him there's like some serious shit. Okay. Oh yeah. Wait. No Q.
Yeah,
Sad.
Moneypenny gave him the fucking watch. The gadget watch,
Mm-hmm.
which had the magnet, and we'll get into it later, but a little something else in there. that they didn't disclose.
This is my problem. I gotta like put all these posts up there. Yeah, like they didn't disclose anything about the watch, right?
Well,
But
they said,
what do you think about Q not being there?
you know, I like Q. With him not being here, like it didn't hurt my feelings, but I feel like Q is like he's like a really nice like garnish,
Mm-hmm.
and like good presentation. With him not being there, like it didn't necessarily change the flavor, but yeah, um, I would have enjoyed Q being there, but I do think he picks up in the next one. So
I'm pretty sure he's almost in like every Bond movie, right? He's on every one of them, so like he just comes back, so it's okay. I just felt like it was really like weird to like not have him in this one.
yeah, they skipped one.
But okay, so I just realized our viewer count went up, and it was just me. Okay, so I was like, because I was like getting the links, but yeah, okay, so they tell him like, hey, dude, like three MI6 dudes got murdered mysteriously in like San Monique, New Orleans, and New York.
Yep.
So there's like some connection there. So he's like going out to
When you say San Monique, you mean the Caribbean.
yeah, that's the name of the island. But
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
it's a fake name. It's a fake
All right.
island. But yeah, so they send him out. He goes to New York. He meets Felix. So Felix is back, different actor again. What do you think about this Felix?
Eh. I mean,
Yeah.
like I didn't dislike
Fun
him.
fact: he's one of the few that come back. Did you know that?
I didn't remember. So no, I didn't know that.
He comes back in License to Kill,
Okay.
which is really random. But yeah,
That,
he comes back that later and gets his fucking legs chopped off. But
uh, I don't necessarily want to spoil anything, but my favorite Felix has not yet revealed himself.
okay. But I just want to know how you felt about this guy. He had a pretty big part in this one.
He did. He was decent. Like like I thought he was a good supporting actor. I didn't think so. We'll get into my favorite supporting actor, and it may or may not be who you're thinking.
In
But
this movie.
yes,
Okay.
um,
Maybe not. All right. So he's going to meet Felix. He got picked up, and as it always happens, he never makes it to his destination without getting like attacked.
yep.
And so I was like, I don't know who it was, but they called out the guy's car, and he said it's a white pimp mobile, and I was like, God damn, bro. And then I just noticed how much racial terms in this movie.
Okay, so you're dancing around it. I put it in my notes.
Honky.
I didn't count how many times they fucking said honky. And then later, there is going to be interactions with the police down in Louisiana, and they say the word boy way too many fucking
Way
times.
too much, bro. Way too much, dude. Yeah, I agree.
So I'll just say this right now. I also, based off of my algorithm on the internet, they give me a lot of like Bond content because I'm usually looking up like actresses, cast, that kind of thing. So this movie took influence from another movie. Did you happen to know what movie that was?
I didn't know, but I know it was really kind of like on the blaxploitation era of movies, and that's why they kind of did it that way.
Yeah. So this movie was influenced by Shaft.
Shaft. Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
How long did it take you to figure out that all of the villains in here were black?
I mean, I already knew. I guess I kind of knew because of Kananga and whatever. I was like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess immediately.
And then, especially when they started saying honky, I'm like, I see what you're doing. Like, I still think, based off of Diamonds Are Forever, and then now this movie, I think they're still trying to cater a little bit to the Western audience.
They are. It's a weird like flip after On Her Majesty's. You know, ever since then they just kind of really went into like America,
And then
hard.
just a quick recap. On Her Majesty's made about half of what this movie made, right?
I think
Sounds
so.
about right.
Yeah, because Diamonds made more.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I enjoyed that movie, but like, even though Sean Connery was trying to fucking die, but
Yeah.
So sorry, continue.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was gonna say. So after he goes to this, he falls into I guess a voodoo shop, right? I just made a comment about him gift wrap it lengthwise.
Likewise.
So what the fuck?
So clearly he walked in. He saw that the one of the guys slipped through the back door, and that's where he wanted to go. So he was trying to distract this clerk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does wrapping something lengthwise take longer?
I guess so. I guess if it's a snake, you know, I don't know. I never wrapped the snake before, so well.
You know, like I couldn't figure out it. Like honestly, I couldn't figure out if he was trying to buy more time, or if this was like just Bondism, where like he can't just like let people do their fucking job. You know,
Right.
he's like martini, dry, shake it,
Lemon
not
peel.
stir it.
Yeah.
No.
You know. Yeah.
No, and he's like,
I don't trust
hey,
you.
gift wrap it, like
Likewise. I think he was. I might be longer. He might have wanted her to do like the longest way possible.
I think he was trying to get a distraction so he could fucking slip back.
So he goes. This is where they fight in the alley. No, he goes in a taxi.
Well, this is where he goes back and he sees Kananga he sees the vehicle that tried to kill him.
Yep.
And then he gets into
a taxi or some shit. Yeah.
Like he hides, and then he gets into a taxi and he's trying to follow this car because he sees Kananga and Solitaire.
Yeah. All right. And then he gets in a taxi, and the guy's like, "I'll give you $20 to follow that." I thought Teehee was just goofy. All right. So
Sure, he was goofy, but you didn't like Goofy.
I thought he was like. I don't know. I think he was just kind of a silly butthole. You just kind of just, you know, like.
I'm sorry, but
You loved him?
I very much enjoyed Teehee. Yeah. You know, like, that goofiness where he just couldn't stop fucking laughing, you know? Like, he just, kind of like.
Yeah. He was
when
like.
You're a smug bastard because you know you have the upper hand. And he always had
No pun intended, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because he had a fucking, they didn't say it was titanium, but, I assume it's titanium fucking hook hand. You fucking cut people up with that shit. But, yeah,
But I don't want to, I don't know what happened, but everything on my laptop, it, like, crashed. So I had to, like, basically replug everything back in.
Okay.
And here I am. So,
and here you are.
It like clicked out and it kept going in and out. I think my dock is like real shitty because I bought it on Amazon.
Okay.
So it kind of like would connect, disconnect, disconnect, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
Okay.
So where we at?
While you were gone, I got us to the alley.
And okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
And then from there, I get a little hazy with this, but the CIA agent that was randomly there. Like, I don't fully remember what he was doing, but I know he was there.
I think he was just watching, just to make sure. Did you mention when Moore gave his first James Bond? To Solitary?
I did not.
So we met Solitary, right? This is before the alley. That's the first time he said Bond, James Bond, 24 minutes in.
Okay.
Again, Lazenby did it like 30 seconds in. So, yeah, I don't know. I think he was just watching him. Then they showed Baron Samedi after that when he's like, you're going into the Caribbean.
Yes.
Yeah.
His name was Baron Samedi.
Yes, the voodoo dude.
I I liked him too.
You liked him too?
I
Okay.
sure
Okay.
fucking did. And then
Uh,
also, while we're on that, have we met Whisper yet?
he was the guy driving the car. Yeah.
No, that was not Whisper.
Was it not?
No, well,
No. Well, it might have been, but he definitely you meet him at least when he comes into his
at the
hotel.
hotel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought this had a lot of good supporting cast. But
Okay.
do you want to talk about Solitaire now, or you want to wait a little bit?
I mean, you want? What do you think of her? Let's talk about it now. Fuck it. She's here.
All right.
She's introduced.
I have never been this aroused by a gal that I know is old as fuck.
Okay.
Also, I thought so far she's been the hottest Bond girl.
Okay. Hottest. Mm.
Yep, hottest. And so I looked her up, the actress. So
Yeah, Jane Seymour, dude. Yeah, you didn't know her?
or should we say cat?
Kitty cat?
Kitty cat.
Kitty cat? Yeah. Should call it kitty cat? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked up on that. You know, it's funny because I saw Wedding Crashers well before I saw this fucking movie.
Right.
And
Had no idea she was a Bond girl, huh?
no, and then even when I watched this 10 years ago, I'd already seen Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize her, but
Yeah, she was 22. But yeah, I see.
and now she's 74,
And you would. Anyway,
still looks very good for herself.
yeah, I think she's pretty good. She's very pivotal to the plot. Sometimes, which is a lot more than most Bond girls get to say they are. Rosie Carver.
What about her? Are we there now?
Well, it's at the hotel, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay. Before that happens, he tries to get it. They try to assassinate him with a snake in the tub, and I'm like, here we go again with another wild animal. Like we had the spider and Doctor No. Now we're doing a snake.
And we are not going to be done with animals trying to fucking maul him.
He also orders a Bollinger, not Dom Perignon.
And this is when we meet Whisper.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but like, dude, he spoke like this.
He whispered.
Yeah, he whispered, kind of like the Whisper song from Twins, shout out Prom.
Yeah. Wow. Date us, bud. Why don't you?
Yeah.
We're 74 years old now.
But I don't know. He was a big guy. He spoke soft.
Soft-spoken big guy.
I liked Whisper too.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Okay.
Now, so we're in the Caribbean. They're trying to kill him with a snake. Dude makes a fucking. So Bond makes a makeshift fucking flamethrower.
Flamethrower with his fucking.
Yeah, that fucking cigar. And he pulls out a fucking aerosol can. It's just like. It fucking, just fries this fucking.
Yeah, just scorches the earth, dude. Like.
And, it was already, explained to him that, Mrs. Bond, had picked the room. So, he's waiting for this gal to show up. And then it's Rosie
Carver. Rosie Carver. Yeah.
So,
Thoughts?
she's a CIA agent. Why is she so fucking freaked out by a snake? Like, I get it. I don't like snakes either, but that's a dead fucking snake. Also, you're a CIA agent. Like,
why are you so ditzy?
Yeah. Like, I think she was playing up on that, but like, originally, Bond was trying to fucking sleep with her. I mean,
he did.
They're married. Well, eventually,
yeah.
I don't think they slept together that night.
I think they did. Here's why. Because at first she goes in and she's like, don't leave me alone, I'm scared, right? Then the next day when they go on Coral Jr.'s boat.
That wasn't Coral Jr., that was Coral.
Well, that's in the movies Coral Jr. In the book, he's Coral.
Okay.
Because So he's Coral Jr. When she says something about like, "Hey, you should trust me more, especially after what we did to each other last night." She said something like that, and I was like, "All right, that's a bang." So I put it down as a bang.
I
That's a
just
bang.
assumed it was handies.
I don't. You think he stops at handies anyway? We've seen Connery. Come on. Uh, so I read about. I looked that up about this because Coral Jr. Right, and it says so. Coral. So the books, Live and Let Die, occur before Doctor No,
Right.
in the books. So when he does die in Doctor No, in the books as well, but like when they made the movies, they made Doctor No first, obviously.
Right.
So they decided just to make this dude his son.
Okay.
That makes no sense, but okay, sure. So whatever. Okay. So yeah, they actually they might bang at the beach. You're right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because she's like, tell me a secret or something, and he's like, well, we did what we did. I don't know. Whatever. They banged. It was at the beach before she gets murked.
Yeah. So she's trying to like at this point in time, Bond kind of knows something's up. That she is working for Kananga.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Bond being Bond, he doesn't care. He's gonna fuck her either way. He is.
Yeah, he's gonna get his information and fuck, which we'll get into that later on his methods. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but like before that, he's like, I'm gonna bang her anyway. Now I want the information, and she's like, I can't tell you, they'll kill me. And then like she runs away because she sees that mask or whatever, that statue,
Right.
and it shoots her. She dead.
Right.
Now,
Yep.
probably a pretty sick scene in my opinion was him hang gliding while he's smoking a cigar. Like to like Kananga's island. He's just like fuck it. And I was like, all right, Roger, pretty sweet.
In all fairness, like think about it. At any point in time, this dude could get murdered. Like, if I'm hang gliding onto some dude's fucking private island, like
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably be smoking a.
I mean, also they just fucked on the beach where there was like a gun statue that was there the whole time.
Right.
He could have been shot right there mid coitus. Like you're right. Fuck it. You're living hard, baby. Yeah, you're living hard. That's how you gotta go. You gotta smoke cigars, hang out, and this time Coral Jr. is just like a G dude. He's like, yeah, I'll just drive around. You can hang line into the island all you want. So he goes in there, and did you notice this line by Kananga? A very Connery-like line, perhaps.
Which one?
So they're showing Solitaire do her fortune telling things, right? And she's like a little like I guess wonky. And he brings up the fact that like virgins lose their when you're not a virgin you lose your power. He's basically insinuating it. But he says so about her power. He says, quote, ready? When it comes time to lose it, I will decide and I will take it away.
Yeah.
And I was like, is he threatening rape, dude?
Yes.
Like he's like,
no, he totally is because he also I don't know when he brought it up, but he was talking about because Solitaire's mom was also
yeah, and then
she
lost her
lost her power, and he alluded that he took it away. So like. It sounds like dudes out there, just fucking hard R-ing, girls, and then he's, fucking, killing them when they're done, like.
Way too reliant on the fortune telling. I'll tell you what, though, for a bad dude, get some more reliable technology, dude.
Right.
Tarot cards, also, and then, yeah, okay. So and then as like it follows up with another questionable scene. Where Bond using that, I said Bond using tarot cards to make her bang him is pretty sus, dude.
Also, can we, like, I know it happens later, but, like, what a terrible fucking person. So, like, this girl is fearful of her life because, right now she knows, like, she's kind of being held captive, because she has powers. And she knows that if she loses her virginity, she is going to lose her power.
And he'll kill her. He'll pretty much kill her.
Yeah. Bond gives zero fucks.
He's like, okay.
Bond doesn't care. He just wants to bang her, which again I've already alluded to. Solitaire is hot, so like I get it.
Cool, man. I understand what you're going through, but she's gonna die now. But I guess this is the problem with Bond, right? He's probably in his head like, I'll protect you.
Right. You know?
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'll do my best. So they bang.
Yep.
He's like, you're gonna go against the cards? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Let me go. That's the third bang.
Third bang. Yeah.
3 bang.
Which
and then a rebang right after the third bang.
Which at this point, we've kind of established that because I am the unofficial bang counter.
Right.
3 bang is kind of we've already established we're kind of at the point now that
It's standard.
Standard is 3 bang.
Did you keep track of all Connerys? What was the total count? Do you know? Do you have that on hand?
I do.
Oh God.
Well, I have most of them.
Yeah. I lost track in diamonds. That shit was nuts.
Well, diamonds. Wait.
That's just Tiffany.
Diamonds are in 1 bang.
Yeah.
The only one I don't have is from Russia with Love. Do you remember how many bangs was in there?
I want to say 1.
I thought it was. There was more than 1.
Well, his girlfriend was in there in the beginning. Maybe they banged. So 2. What's her name? I can't remember her name.
I thought he banged gypsies, or it was implied.
Ooh, and that was a 2-fer.
Yeah. You know what?
We'll go with 3.
Let's just go with 3 bangs. So, Dr. No was 3 bang. Russia with Love was 3 bang. Thunderball was 3 bang. Goldfinger was 2 bang. Diamonds Are Forever was 1 bang. And then You Only Live Twice was 3 bang. And then On Her Majesty's Secret Service was 3 bang. So
it's a shame because Hilly had quite the opportunity to go above and beyond 3 bang up in that facility.
Yeah.
But he didn't. Respectable man. He's got morals. Okay?
Well, he's also, Hilly was a homosexual.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he had to keep that secret, bro. Come on. So, 3 bang. And then he's telling, lessons, life lessons. She's like, is it time for a new one? Another lesson? And he's like, all right, let's get back into it. And bangs her again, but we know we can't count 2 for 1. It's just 1, yeah. But they rebang.
Rebang.
I guess he's like, if you're going to die, might as well just bang again.
Right.
So then, then they go to, I don't know where they were going. I guess they're trying to find the fields eventually. So they're going to his, farm area, and I was like, so they roll up on Baron Samedi playing the skin flute. And he's just sitting there just playing. And I was like, okay. My dude's practicing.
That's a scary motherfucker.
Yeah. So then they find poppy fields.
Yep.
Then they promptly get attacked by a plane, helicopter, something, right?
Yep.
They go to escape, find a double-decker bus.
Yep.
And I don't know if you noticed this. I noticed when they're about to hit the tunnel, Marjorie Moore's smiling. I was like, this dude. I was like, Bond is so stoked to rip the top half of this bus off, and he's like, hell yeah, rips the top half off. Yeah. Then they, I guess they end up going meet up with Felix, right? No. They go to the plane.
Well, yeah. So at this point in time, they get caught.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it gets slightly weird because I can't tell if the whole time Solitaire was in on it or she was trying to.
Before you, there's a little scene before that, and it's the plane where he's given a lesson, and he kind of goes and spins in circles and wrecks the plane.
No, that's after.
Because then after that he gets picked up by the taxi guy. Oh, it is after because they're at the plane. Yeah. The taxi driver, dude. He gets in the taxi. It's the same dude,
right,
from the beginning. And I was like, does he not recognize this guy, and he immediately gets caught by takes him right to Mr. Big or Kanaga or whatever,
Yeah,
Right.
Mr. Big.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're right. You can't tell. I thought it. I what's the word I'm looking for? I deciphered it as she was trying to help him get away. That's why she hit him with her purse.
Okay.
That's what I took. But I mean, I guess it is kind of weird because she doesn't even hesitate.
Yeah.
As Calvin Dyson said, it was a little weird. He said it didn't make any sense. Shout out Calvin Dyson.
To that review as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. I listened. Okay, so full disclosure, I listened to pretty much all the Bond ones. I skipped the Roger Moore ones because that's my thought on Roger Moore, and I watched every other one. But then I watched this one after I watched the movie, and I also watched his ranking of the theme songs and the villains, and I went massive rabbit hole of him. Also, there's a channel, Heavy Spoilers. Have you heard of them?
Yep.
I watch them a lot. They just did a Dr. No one. Pretty good. I saw he's collabing with Calvin Dyson for from Russia with Love.
Okay.
He's got a lot more money than us, so he's got like a DB5 and stuff, and he can like actually wear suits and gets on. But anyway, don't want to go on too much of a tangent. But he said it was very confusing for him for Solitary, but I took it as maybe she was trying to help him get away. I could see how we don't know. It was just kind of happened, right? So he gets in the plane, and there's like a lady in there waiting for her lesson.
Right.
And he just says, we're just going to wing it. I think it was the quip, right? Yeah. I think I wrote it down or some shit. Nah, I didn't write it down. It wasn't that good. But so he fucks the plane up. And then her actual instructor finds it. Yeah, he's pissed. Why does he call Felix?
I don't know.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, this dude calls this...
Let me call the CIA.
Let me call this. I got the CIA on speed dial, bro. Like, fuck my plane up.
The only thing I could think of is Barnes like, it's okay. I'm MI6. He's like, well, let me call the CIA.
Or I know Felix. I'm with CIA. Here's the number you should call. Call this dude, not me, with your complaints. That's all.
Have an issue. Call this guy.
Because it made no sense. Like this dude's calling like the top of the CIA. Like, I got it. Don't worry about it. I'm like, what the fuck? So how did they end up in Mr. Big's conference room? I can't remember because they end up there.
I don't remember either.
Well, they end up there. Okay. I think he might capture Solitaire or some shit. Anyway, so he goes there.
This is where he's talking to Mr. Big, and he's like, I'm only going to talk to Kananga.
Yeah, he's like, you banger. I'm only tell Kananga that. And he rips off the mask.
Yeah.
What did you think about the mask?
Ripped off his nose.
It's just his nose.
Well, I mean, dude's rolling up as Mr. Big looking like a light-skinned Michael Jackson. Like,
yeah, it was kind of sus. From the get. I agree. I thought it was very silly. His voice he kept putting on too. Also, as Mr. Big.
We'll get into it, but why does every fucking villain want to reveal their fucking plans to Bond?
Bro, I don't know.
You know, because this is where Kananga tells him that he's making Heron, and he's going to give it away.
Heron.
Yeah, Heron. You know, in the streets, it's Heron.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Effectively, he's going to give it away for free.
Get him addicted.
Everyone addicted to his shit. He's going to put all the other drug dealers out of business. And he's going to jack the fuck out of the prices. And I'm like, all I can think of is Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights in this moment where he's like, I'm going to be a drug dealer, but like a nice one. You know, what's more nice than giving away your product for free?
That's right. It was a foolproof plan, man. I don't know. I think there was little holes in his ideas. I get it. I don't know why they gotta tell him everything. Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, so the funny thing is, he's got he has him with his finger with his claws, right? And he's like, if Solitary gets this wrong, 1, chop his finger off. 2, chop off his wang, pretty much, right? So he asks her a question about his watch serial number, and we find out she gets it wrong. but he just says, "All right, good. Now let him go." You know what I mean? Like you said, you literally explicitly said, if it's wrong, cut his dong off or whatever, right?
So,
But then he was like, "Yeah, that's right. Go ahead, get him out of here."
so I think in that moment they were just trying to get Bond away, and then he was going to reveal to Solitary that like she done fucked up. He
Man, he
knows
fucking
he.
rocks her ass, dude.
I'm so glad you bring that up. So I put in my notes. So this movie series is still on to hitting female,
Oh yeah,
female violence. Like
yeah.
that's still okay.
That's okay, man. Just ease up on the hard R. Beat the shit out of him now. We'll get there. This is only movie 8 of 25. We got time. Okay.
I'm interested to see when we stop hitting women in these fucking movies.
Yeah. Just say this is the first movie I've not seen a woman beat. Bye, Mike. Yeah. So then I guess the plan also was for Teehee to take Bond to this like gator retreat.
You ready for this?
To Gatorland.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So let's talk about Gatorland.
Mm-hmm.
So one. Before he brings him into the fucking gator pen, he shows him the fucking Heron operation.
Oh again, yeah. Again, check it out, bro. This is what we're doing.
Why do we have to show them? Like,
oh, he does it again later in the movie too.
I know, but
yeah.
Why did he have to show? Because Bond, spoiler, is later going to blow up this fucking. He's going to, set this Heron operation on fire. But like, he didn't have to go through the house to take him to the gator pit.
No, he didn't. Like, he just took him to the back where the gators are.
My boy Tiki cannot stop fucking laughing. Like he's just smiling the whole fucking time, And he brings him to the gator pit. And, he starts throwing, chicken out there. And you see all the alligators, you see the crocodile. Well, it's mostly crocodiles, and he shows the alligator. And Tiki is, shows him his arm. And he's like, I forgot the line, but he said something along the lines of, I was a little complacent, and, this gator fucking got me, kind of thing. So they put Bond, so Tiki's out on this little pit with him, and he walks on the bridge, and they bridge him back, and then Moore is now sitting on this pit. All the dudes are just laughing, like, okay, Bond's about getting eaten by a gator.
Yeah, he's getting fucked.
So I put in my notes, okay, so there's like 5 dudes that are in charge of disposing of Bond. None of them had to like draw straws, or none of them were like low like henchmen that they were like assigned. Because they all went in the fucking building. Like no one had a job to watch Roger Moore get eaten by an alligator. Like
right, just make sure.
Yeah,
just watch this dude get wrecked. Yeah, I agree. Also, he pulls the watch out. And he tries to pull that like canoe out, right? Or kayak.
Why was that canoe randomly tied up to a tree that led to nowhere?
On the outside, the other side of the pond, right? But I was also like, okay, so he's got this watch that can like fucking pull a boat, right? Why didn't he try and operate the winch that did the drawbridge? You know what I mean? Like, or pull the bridge out or something. He's just like, nah, that boat didn't work. So let me just run on some gator heads.
So, okay. So at this point in time, that's when the gators start getting aggressive. Do you know the trope in like a lot of like sitcoms and stuff where like, or like Good Will Hunting where, people see like a fucking board of math and then like they see all the numbers like jumbling up and then have the fucking answer.
Mm-hmm.
My boy, fucking Roger Moore, went full savant when like he's looking. And he's like desperate now, and all the gators are like swarming him. And he's like looking, and he goes full savant. He's just like, I got it. All of these fucking gators lined up like a fucking bridge. I'm a run on them.
Fun fact. Running on the gators is what inspired Donkey Kong Country to be made.
Really?
No.
Okay.
They're like, hey, dude, if he can do it, Donkey can do it, brother. So why not?
This this is this is where we start getting into the implausible. And like this is not going to be the only film that has
Yeah,
some
yeah. It kind of started last movie with the like, alleyway car thing,
right.
and then they're doing some more stuff, right? And you're like, okay, we just keep pushing it, right? But yeah. So then here we go.
So Bond
Here we go.
Bond lets out the fucking gator pin. He opens it up, and gators go into the building. Which did you notice that they're on the other side of the glass, like they're making hair on, and a gator walks in. Like from what I saw, they were isolated.
Right.
You know.
So I don't know how he got back there.
I also don't know why they're freaking out about a gator. Also, I don't know why Bond put a gator in there because he later just set fire to the fucking building.
I guess he had to put it somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, for fun, shits and gigs.
Okay. So then Bond sees a random fucking boat.
Yep.
He hops in the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, this is where, was it Teehee or was it the other henchman?
It's the other guy. Teehee stays back, I think. Yeah.
So the other guy gets in the car and he gets on the CB radio and he's like, "This honky is fucking loose. Everyone, fucking get him. He's in a boat."
Right.
And this is where we come to my favorite.
Don't you dare, brother.
Yes.
Absolutely hate him. I cannot stand him.
Are you talking about J.W.
Yes. He's the worst, dude.
Okay, so I put in my notes J.W. Pepper, product of a different time.
Oh, you think? Fucking goddamn. I said J.W. Pepper, hate him. That's what I wrote.
So,
right here. Right above that little blue mark. And then I said, go ahead.
When he pulls over the guy, well, the guy was already pulled over and he meets up with him, the henchman.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck, the amount of times that he calls him boy.
Yeah.
Also, did you notice how big J.W. Pepper's fucking chaw was? I'm
surprised he kept it in after all the car flips and shit. It stayed in there. It was so ridiculous, dude. Okay, so this whole J.W. Pepper shit is so out of left field. It's so dumb. It makes it just keeps going.
So I don't know when Dukes of Hazzard came out. I'm sorry, I did not live in the 70s.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I know Chips was, I think, late 70s. I've got a little soft spot for Chips. My mom liked it. I used to watch a good deal of Chips. But
Chips and Dip?
This whole scene, have you never seen Chips with Jason Estrada?
I know Chips. I've not seen the show. Producer Brandy made us watch the movie with Dax Shepard. But, I've seen that one. But so you just felt a kinship to JW. Is what you're telling me.
I don't know what it is, but this fucking hucklebuck sheriff, like
fucking this honky.
This fucking honky, this cat, this cracker ass cracker.
Oh my god.
Wow, I'm saying cracker on
you say whatever you want, bro. This is Jen Silva.
Yeah.
No one watches us.
This is why Chubby's will never sponsor us. Chubby's,
Hey, you know that one time you made fun of J.W. Pepper? You're not getting any free shit. Sorry, dude. That's our number one spokesman.
I put, so it gets into this big chase scene because Bond is,
big is an understatement, my dude.
Dude, they crashed a fucking wedding.
You know how long this boat scene took? This boat chase?
I don't remember. Like, I didn't clock it, but I'm going to say about 10 minutes.
I clocked it. From 1 hour and 26 minutes in the movie to 1 hour and 39 minutes in the movie. So almost 15 minutes. So about 14 minutes.
My favorite part of it is when J.W. Pepper is like, my brother Billy Bob, or my cousin, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
He
my
got the
cousin, my boyfriend, my dad. I don't know, all the same guy.
he got the fastest boat on the river, and they pan over to Billy Bob, and he's got a CB radio, and
Mm-hmm.
he's priming the boat up, and then the henchman just like fucking like,
Steals it.
yeah,
Just
like,
fucking dips
it's my
out.
boat.
So
And
it's. I don't know where
J.W.
my.
Pepper, when he sees the fucking boat go by, he's like, yeah, Bill Bob, and he's like chanting him on. But then, like, yeah, they crash a fucking wedding. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Bond could have easily gone around, but he said, you know what? Going through the wedding on
Was
the
the
bank
preferred
of the
method.
river is the preferred method. And they
Mm-hmm.
show one of the boats fucking crashing into the fucking wedding cake. And then, the bride is just livid and she's like crying, like, my wedding's ruined. And it's like, you're getting married on the bank of a fucking river in the bayou. Like, your
Yeah,
wedding was
you're
already
not
ruined.
really. Yeah, you're already low class. It's okay. But it was the '70s. Maybe that was cool back then. I
And
just
then,
couldn't stand this sequence. I'm not gonna lie to
no,
you.
wasn't
No,
your.
I
I
thought
enjoyed
it
it.
went way too long.
I can see that. I think 5 minutes of it would have been fine, but like I put in my
Yeah,
notes. I'm sorry, but is it a crime to drive your boat fast? I don't think there's any speeds on
as
a
long as
boat,
you're not in like a wake zone, right? Yeah, I
right?
mean like,
So why was J.W. Pepper so livid? And like,
that's a good question. I guess he probably because he drove the boat into his car from the
okay,
beginning. That's the only thing I can think of.
yeah,
But
but
like,
Bond didn't do that.
no, I agree. I don't know. I think maybe it doesn't make any sense, dude. Because at the end of it, he's like, this man's a British. He's from London, and I'm like, okay, and then he moves on.
Well, and
It just
then
felt like it took so damn long.
so the henchman finally, Bond is like siphoning gas.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Into
then he
the
like
throws it in the dude's boat.
throws it in the dude's like face. And then he has this scene where, I will say, at this point in time, our explosion scenes said that they're starting to put production into
They're
them.
getting some money in it. Yeah, yeah. It's better than the oil rig on Diamonds Forever. I tell
Yeah,
you.
yeah. This
Um,
this was a pretty convincing
I'm not gonna lie to you though.
explosion.
It's pretty difficult to do what he did, where he like drove by at full speed and then reached over and smacked the rudder. Like
Right.
as he's going past this boat that's coming towards him full speed, real quick. Pretty impressive. But yeah, he lights him on fire and it blows up pretty much, right?
And
And then
have you ever been on a boat?
a boat. I've been on a boat, bro. I was
No,
in the
no,
Navy.
not like a big boat. Like I'm talking about like
Yeah,
a boat.
I was on your dad's boat a few times with you,
Oh,
but that's cool.
I don't remember. Well, so
I see.
I've spent time on boats and jet skis and shit like that. I'm gonna let you know, like, anything over like 10, 15 miles an hour on a boat or
Hmm.
jet ski, I'm not sticking my fucking hand up, bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it's
it,
pretty fast, right? Like,
it feels a lot faster on the water than it
mm,
does, like in land. Like, maybe if I was like driving my fucking truck, 15 miles an hour, maybe I'd stick my hand out and fucking, I, I'm not doing that in a boat, but
he just like reaches all the way over and then grabs it. He's like, psh, I'm like, man, impressive. I
yeah.
agree.
And then at the end, J.W. Pepper has his send off because he's livid, and he
Yeah.
pitches up and he wants to he pulls out his fucking cuffs and he's talking about where he's gonna fucking send Bond, and then Felix just like rolls over to the captain and he's like, "Hey, get your boy," and captain's just like, "Hey, he's an agent," and J.W. Pepper is like, "An agent."
God, I hate his character so much.
I enjoyed J.W. Pepper.
Oh man, I think it would be less annoying if he wasn't 15 minutes of the movie with
I
him in it.
okay. I will say this. I enjoyed this like cop chase scene a lot better than I did in Diamonds.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I still think that was
It
also pretty long.
this it why did it have to be so long? I don't know.
I don't know. How long was the movie? I don't. You have your phone. I wonder. I think it's a little over 2 hours. I think.
I can
So,
look it up,
so
but
you're talking about an eighth of the movie was that boat scene. 10th of the movie was that chase. I think it was a lot longer. Like the movie would be shorter without it, and it'd probably be quicker moving. Because I was gonna say that my first couple of thoughts of the movie was that the beginning, with him going to New York and stuff, was moving pretty swiftly, like fast
right.
pace.
Yeah, this
And
whole movie I thought was pretty fast
and then
paced.
and then
So
it hits this like boat chase, and I was like,
all right, so the movie was 2 hours and 1 minute.
okay,
So
so like
121 minutes.
yeah, so about like an eighth of the movie is the chase. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What?
So then from there, this is where Felix tells Bond that his girl is in New Orleans, and she's at Kananga's like land
Oh,
lair.
I know this is way out of order. I just remembered how they met. They end up at that when he reveals himself as Kananga. I
Okay.
remember now. Him and Felix go to that bar again, one where the door spins,
Yep.
and he was like, "Don't sit in the booth," because he got trapped there first time. So he went and sat by the singing lounge. Which, by the way, did you know that singer? So they wrote "Live and Let Die," or they had Paul McCartney write it.
Right.
Okay, and they didn't expect him to want to like perform it. So they
Okay.
had the girl that sang in the movie was the original singer of the song that was going to be until Paul McCartney was like, "No, I'll sing it." So they
Which
just so they
good
felt like
choice.
they felt like that. Yeah, they just, but I guess they felt like they should at least let her have a scene of her singing it.
Sure.
But that's why that was there because I was like, this is kind of weird. Why is she singing the theme song in this club? But then that's when they go down, and then Felix is like the dumbest motherfucker. Where's my dude? Which did the dude die? The
Which one?
CIA agent, the black one, because he was at the funeral area.
I assumed because
Okay. He was.
because in the beginning they were
Mm-hmm.
doing the funeral, and then they were having the whole New Orleans funeral, and then once they put him in the casket, it
They
turned
start
into
dancing. Yeah.
so
And he said he never showed up. Remember, he was like, "Oh, he hasn't shown up yet." And I was like, "Fuck,
yeah, they
fuck."
good at
They,
him too.
you got him with the little knife. So yeah, they're going down though. It's New Orleans where the Baron Samedi is? Is that
Yep.
where it's at?
Yep.
And they're gonna basically kill Solitaire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thoroughly enjoyed this scene.
Okay.
Like, fuck. So fucking weird. Like
It was very weird.
I
The only
don't.
comment I have about it
Yeah.
was the goofiness of him falling in the coffin with the snakes. And he's like, "Oh." And that's the only thing that was just really weird,
So
cheesy.
in my notes, so like yeah, they have this whole like King Kong, where they have like the virgin sacrifice kind of thing, and even though she's not a virgin, but she's tied up, and they have this coffin show up with all these snakes, and they pull out the clearly fake one,
Mm-hmm.
and then like they're gonna fucking
Yeah.
bite her.
Yeah.
And then like they stop, and
And
this is where Bond shows up, and like he's about to. Did you notice where he hesitated? Because at first, like he looked like, "Hey, I'm just gonna roll in and fucking save her," and he's like, "There's like, dude,
they all stopped and it was weird. And then
yeah,
Baron 70 came up from the ground, right?
yeah." Which so in my notes, I put. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
I put the coffin full of snakes was terrifying, but not as terrifying as what came out of the fucking ground. When they put the fucking hat on the ground, and then what was his name? Baron 70?
Yeah, Baron 70. Yep.
70. Yeah.
like a Baron, and then that's his
Yeah.
first name. Yeah.
And then Semedy.
Yep.
And
Samedi.
he just rises from the fucking ground. I was terrified. And then so Bond fucking
Blasts his noggin off, but it's a fake one.
yeah. And then there's
Fucking
this like scene where fucking Bond rolls up and he like pulls up a machete and he fucking cuts Solitaire's ropes off, and then Baron Semedy fucking the real one shows up,
Mm-hmm.
and then he pulls out a fucking machete, and then they have a fucking machete fight, and then
I thought also it was funny how he just fucking popped that dude that had the snake. He was like,
right.
man, that guy's done too. Fuck him. I was like, god damn.
And then he lands in the snakes, and he's done.
Yeah. Well,
Allegedly.
Right.
And
Right.
then Bond had picked up that they did like 3 taps with the machete on the grave. So he does that with Solitaire, and they go into the lair, and from there Bond's kicking ass, and then they roll up with to Mr. Big or Kananga, and
Yep.
dude's fucking wasted. Like
He's on the sauce.
yeah,
Or
he was like,
the,
hey,
the hair wrong. Maybe.
hey, let's get some drinks for my boys, for Bond and his lady, my lady, his lady,
This is where he starts doing his little. Well, he ties him up, right?
right?
And he has him. He's talking about like the plan again, right? Yeah. I thought this was actually pretty good. I said I do like Bond's remark on there's an easier way to drown someone. Basically, shut up and drown me.
Instead of fucking like he's cutting him.
Yeah. And then he goes and says then he says another one. He says surely there's a simpler vein to this approach.
Yeah.
When he's cutting his arm, I was like, yeah, he's just like, dude, just cut my arm.
If you're gonna end me, fucking
just
end
kill me.
But also, before this happened, they'd shown that they blew up the poppy field.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Bond kind of explained to Kananga, like, I blew up your shit, and he's just like, poppies
Cool.
are resilient. Like that doesn't affect me, bro.
Yeah, I'm good. I get it again. I don't care. And then so what was funny is he said, Tom, I doubt you'll get the chance to drown. And it felt very Goldfinger reference, which same director, so I'm assuming it's literally speak, no, I expect you to die, Mr. Bond. Drown, you don't have a chance to drown kind of thing. I thought.
Well, and yeah, so we got Whisper.
We got Whisper. Mm-hmm.
And because they showed this like it was like a capsule that
it was a compressed gas bullet.
Yeah, well, so not the bullet.
A shark gun, apparently.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the large tube.
Oh yeah. I got you. Okay. I don't know what that was.
So we've already, because this movie is all about animals. So we're killing motherfuckers with snakes. We're trying to kill motherfuckers with alligators and crocodiles. And now we're gonna fucking let him get eaten by sharks.
By sharks, yeah.
Which, dog, you've already proven that you have guns and bullets.
And he had a giant knife, we find out.
Yeah, and he
cut his arm.
You already cut him. You have guns. Why sharks?
Right. Also, so he pulls out the knife. He's like, what was that? It was a very weird. If you're listening and you know the method that Kananga was using is a knife technique, maybe it was some martial arts, I don't know. But it was very off-putting. I was like, whoa. This guy doesn't know how to use a knife. So basically, Whisper gets thrown into that tube thing, right? And taken out. He's gone. And then they're in the tank, and Bond puts one of those gas canisters into Kananga's mouth.
Well,
which I guess
his mouth first. And then this is where They never revealed it. But as he's fucking, hanging up, about to go into the water, this is where his fucking watch is also a
A
fucking
saw, like a
saw.
blade. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he fucking cuts the
What did you think
rope.
about that? What do you think about the whole fact that this watch will be whatever it needs to be at the right time, kind of thing?
Hey, you gotta keep it close to your
I,
chest, I
I
guess.
think it's bullshit. I call bullshit. I think the fact that you've set a precedence of Q, or in this one, Moneypenny,
Right.
explaining what everything is. They basically say this is going to be used in the movie every time, right? Here's your laser. Here's your magnet. Here's like, I don't know, gas in the briefcase. You will use all these. Don't worry, guys. And look right at the audience. Like you'll use all these.
So
To not say anything is just bullshit. Like, and then just magically it's a saw.
So
I
he
think.
he escapes, and then from there, him and Kananga end up in the water. He puts the fucking
Yeah.
shark bullet in his mouth,
And the guy's like, that tastes pretty good. Let me swallow it.
and then he fucking blows up like a balloon.
Why do you swallow it?
I don't know.
He's like, okay. Not bad.
Oh,
Could be worse. A little tart.
You put this in my mouth? Let me
You trying to help me out, bro? Thanks. And he blows up like a balloon, which I did also say the blow up death, ridiculously looking. However, it did remind me of Goldfinger getting sucked out of the plane.
Right.
Same director. I don't know. It had that same weird, like, cartoonish vibe as he was dying, He's like, whoop, and I was like, really?
So now they escape via monorail, and then we flash forward to Felix.
Wait. Yep, you're good.
Felix putting them on a train, and Felix is like, why do you want to travel by train?
I thought you were going to skip this scene. That's why I was like, wait.
Bond's just like,
He gives him this face, like, he's like, say goodbye to Felix. Just like,
what? Why do you want to travel by train for 16 hours? 16 hours to fuck my girl, I guess.
he's just like, the face he gave him was just like, what the fuck, dude? Shut up.
Come on.
And I was like, yeah, I was like, Felix doesn't understand sex. Poor guy.
So now they're in the fucking room, and James Seymour is looking fucking hot as shit, in a little 90, fucking titties popping out, and Teehee is stowed away in the fucking mail.
Oh yeah, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, Teehee.
He's in a bag. Big ass Teehee. Tall motherfucker.
Yeah, dude's like 7 foot.
He's in a mail bag.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, I didn't realize his claw was like razor sharp too. It was like zoop. Again, it's whatever it wants to be, right? He didn't have his cue tell me how sharp his claw was from the beginning of the movie. Not fair.
So Teehee rolls in and he fucking like opens up like a breaker box and like his little fucking claw and the lights turn out and fucking
throws her up.
Solitary is all for it. She thinks Bond's turning the lights on. She wants to get dicked down by fucking Bond. And then Teehee rolls in and just like
shuts her in a fucking
Murphy bed. And then they get into a fight, and then Bond pulls out some fucking
wire cutters.
Fucking cuts it. So now he's like latched on to the hook, and then he just like
you just kind of like throws them out. You keep wire cutters in your suitcases just like Bond?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe you should in case Teehee rolls up on your room and
then from there, like it seems like neither of them are really unfazed that they almost died by Teehee.
I understand her because I think they were showing that she's just so oblivious of what happened.
She just wants to get dicked down.
She had no idea Teehee was even there. That's what it seemed like. But you couldn't hear things? You couldn't hear a fight?
Like, why would Bond put you in a Murphy bed?
Right.
It's already been established she wants to fuck shit out of you.
Right. Why would we delay that? Also, you would hear like Teehee being Teehee. I don't know. It was very weird. And then it just kind of cuts to the last scene.
And the last scene is the fucking Baron riding on the front of the train. So voodoo magic is real.
Oh, is that the theme of is that the moral
All
of the
right.
story here?
All right. Let me just say this. I love this fucking movie. I do.
Wow.
I do, and I'm not even going to dance around it. This is my number one as of right now.
What?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
number one?
This is number one. Yeah. So far.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
That's a shocker.
It beats out Thunderball.
Side note, this is producer Brandy's least favorite movie. She
Well,
hated it.
No, like I said, I like the fucking supporting cast. I liked the henchmen. I like Teehee. I like Baron. And maybe it's just because she's the hottest. This is my favorite Bond girl as of right now.
Okay, let's get all right. So your favorite Bond girl, she beats Tracy.
Yep.
Okay, so you got her, then Tracy, then Domino, top three. Um, honestly, it's not a very strong showing from Bond girls, so I guess she's two, maybe three. Tracy, then Pussy,
I I never connected with pussy.
and we know.
Nice. I've got kids.
Yeah, well, so movie though, I don't know, man. I what did I say? Diamonds. I thought Diamonds was actually pretty good, shockingly, but I think this is probably fourth. Nah,
Okay.
maybe fourth. Yeah, Honor Majesty's, Goldfinger, Thunderball, then this one, and then
Okay.
Diamonds.
See, and I feel like you and I have. So this is my number one, and then I have Thunderball, and then I have On Her Majesty's, and then I have Goldfinger, and then I have Diamonds,
Okay.
and then from there you only live twice, Doctor No, and From Russia.
Yeah, for me, it's From Russia. You Only Live Twice, and then Doctor No.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So the thing is, gadgets. Reading about the
Was there a
gadgets.
ton?
So the funny thing is, I was reading it. They wanted to tone down the gadgets after Diamonds Are Forever.
Okay.
He used gadgets more than I've seen in a while. Like he had the sheer
Yeah, but-
magnetism.
He really only had the watch.
That's true. He just had the watch,
And
the
then
bug
they-
detector he had in the hotel. That's not really a gadget, I guess.
And then they gave him the bullet at the end.
Yeah, that's true. So I think it wasn't really great on gadgets.
And then cars.
There were no cars.
Yep.
Actually, I see there's a double-decker bus, a plane, a speedboat, and I guess the only thing was the dude that shot the driver, the pitmobile.
Yeah. The
Which,
Pitbull.
fun fact, I didn't know this, but I read this in this book. Which, you know how I learned about this book? You know how I learned about this book?
I don't know.
Watching Calvin Dyson.
Oh.
Suggested to get this book. Great book, he said. So I was like, you know what? This dude knows what he's talking about. Another shout out. They said that they made this car, custom made. The Pitmobile. Yeah, so they said they wanted to make their own Eldorado. So,
Okay.
I don't know. He said, so not everyone wanted a big car, so I figured I'd build my own Eldorado, but I'd make it a small one. So I cut down an Eldorado, and I dropped it on a Corvette. A Corvorado. A C3 Corvette.
Kind of a waste of a C3, but
Yeah, I don't know why you do that. But I guess apparently Cadillacs were so big in the 60s and 70s, and with, blaxploitation films and stuff.
also, did you notice? I don't know if this was the first film to do it, but I actually stayed to the post credits, and they called out pretty much all the companies.
I saw that. I saw that from the beginning. I didn't watch the whole thing. But I don't know if they all did that, but there's your boy, JW.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. Garbage. But yeah, I saw that. I think it might be the first time. Maybe I think they might have done it in Diamonds because they had Ford, and they're like trying to show off get that Ford money.
Right.
But yeah, I thought no cars kind of sucked though. I'm not gonna lie to you. That kind of sad,
The only thing I could justify is they had so many other, like the
They,
boat chases.
well, wouldn't it have been nice if you got in a nice car and then ended up on a speedboat
Yeah.
instead of 15 minutes of a speedboat? So I thought that sucked. I thought the girl. Do you think this girl's the best? What about the villain, Mr. Big slash Kananga,
He,
as a villain? Because I think we kind of rank sometimes the henchmen's a little different, right?
so as a villain, he's kind of middle upper tier. Like I'd probably put him fourth. So mid.
Mid.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he just the thing is his like goal wasn't really like global threat. You know, he was just trying to get people hooked on drugs.
dude's just trying to sell drugs.
And it is kind of funny that this is the whole story after the last one. Bond's like, I don't deal with diamond smuggling. That shit's low class, bro. And then now we're doing drugs. You know what I mean? Like
But Heron, that's a
that,
problem.
we gotta stop that shit, bro. Fuck no, we gotta deal with that. You know, so it was interesting. I think it is kind of where the rights to Blofeld were lost at this point. I think so.
I will
Now
say,
we're getting villains that are not like Spectre,
I
Blofeld.
will say, I was at this point in time, like I was kind of ready to be over
Hmm.
with Blofeld.
Yeah, they. I think in the book it is he's a Smirch agent. Mr. Big is,
Okay.
so he's connected still like Rosa Klebb was and stuff. So like different now, you know. I think he was okay. I think he was like the actor Yaphet Kotto. He's good. He's a good actor, and I think he like was charismatic and like actually made him seem kind of. But he didn't seem too bad. He seemed like a dude that just wanted like his money. I don't know.
It definitely looked like he was relatively unhinged at the end.
At the end, yes. At
Yeah.
the end, but most of the time he had like yeah. So yeah, he's all right. Like you said, kind of mid. I think Roger. Want to talk about Roger?
Sure.
First
So,
outing. What do you think?
all right. So first showing of Roger,
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. I know it's gonna spoiler. It's gonna get a little weird over the next couple films. Like, he turns into a big old asshole in the next film. Shocker. But no, I thought this as far as like intro movies. I thought it was a pretty strong showing, and like again, like I thought Roger Moore this movie kind of showed like, hey, like you can kind of have someone other than Connery be Bond, and it's going to be okay.
Did you feel like the tone was different with him? Not the fact of the story, but like that it wasn't Connery. Imagine Connery in this movie.
He would have broke a hip.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like imagine Connery in his prime. I guess I'd say like I mean it did have a different tone to it. You know the way he like
He did.
wrap this lengthwise. I don't think Connery would ever say.
And
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
well, and they tried to like with Roger Moore, like they tried to make it kind of more like comedy.
mm-hmm.
And like I enjoyed, and like I don't hate Roger Moore as a like some of the movies are just especially towards the end they just
Mm-hmm.
get
They just keep going.
yeah, hey, maybe we should have stopped at 4 or 5, but especially when they get towards the end. But no, I am not as connected to Connery as some of the other people. And like
But I think that was the interesting thing of doing this retrospective in order is you kind
right,
of you this is the closest you can get to like the way they felt. You know what I mean?
exactly
Like I know it wasn't over a decade, but it's been over months of watching Connery, and then
right.
now we're just kind of in the Moore era. You know, boom, and it just kind of happens, and you just kind of roll with it. I mean, I think that's the closest we can get. Um, I think it was surprisingly not as bad as I remember. I think solid outing. I think it's a decent outing, is what I said. I said Roger Moore isn't bad, but he's just different.
Yeah,
Um, the villains are goofy, which I think you like that.
I I
I
did.
said no cars is a bummer.
Okay,
Bond girls are a mixed bag, and I think I meant as in Solitary was good, but Rosie Carver was awful.
sure.
And it's like I don't know how you have a character like solitary and being like, like pivotal to the plot, and then they come out with this Rosie Carver chick, and they're just like, yeah, this makes sense. You know what I mean?
All
Like
right.
I was.
And, and for the record, am I the only one that thinks Solitary is hot? Like, did you
No,
find
I
her
think
attractive?
she's
Okay.
hot.
Did
She's,
like
but I mean, you're like gushing over there, dude.
well,
Change your pants, dog.
I personally like. I thought Domino is pretty cute, but like
Not
I
even Tiffany Case.
she was cute. I just think
You
like
like that? Yeah.
I
That
think
wasn't even her. She was dubbed. That wasn't even her voice.
James Seymour.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't know that.
It's a weird
Um,
thing that these old movies did a lot. They dubbed a lot of
I just thought she like up until this point, I'm like,
Kitty
most
Cat.
blonde
Kitty
girls,
Cat.
yeah. I thought
You gonna go
most
watch it?
blonde
You gonna
girls
go watch Wedding Crashers after this?
in my underwear.
That's kind of interesting, right? Because Christopher Walken,
Yeah,
Max Zorn,
yeah.
and now they're
Well,
married in Wedding Crashers.
we will get to him.
Wow.
Um,
Another two more things. I think I said the Baron stuff was just weird, but I get
I
it.
like it.
The boat chase to me sucked the life out of this movie. I think this movie would have been better on my rankings if that scene wasn't, let's just say it wasn't 15 minutes long.
I
I
don't
think.
know why they needed it to be that long, but I didn't hate it. Like
I
it had
think
this
JW. I think the actor sucks. It's like fuck someone. Someone fucked his wife, and they're like, "Hey, dude, we'll give you 15 minutes of fame, literally."
it has this like Dukes of Hazard feel
Yes,
to it.
it just kind of like, but it feels like it's just pigeonholed in this movie, and then it keeps going, and I'm like, man, we were moving at a good pace, you know what I mean? And it just stops.
Like I agree with you. Like this movie just fucking went. It went and it went and went. And that's probably one of the reasons why I liked it so much. And I think because I didn't hate the
Mm-hmm.
chasing and Dr. Pepper. Um,
Dr.
you know,
Pepper. That's his dad, not him. Okay,
okay. Well,
he's
JW.
he's a little far off the tree from the doctor's realm.
Well, that tree goes straight up. You
Straight
know,
up and down. Yeah.
but I didn't hate it. There were some really goofy parts of this movie, and I was trying to think like, is it just the fact that it was so off, and with it
It
being
was just different.
New
Mad
Orleans
different.
and voodoo, and like it definitely stuck out. It was one of those that I remembered. It was one of those that I was excited to rewatch.
It was 100% like in left field compared to Diamonds Are Forever, and you go to this and like you're like, oh, okay, not a bad thing, just different.
Again,
I guess
I
one
was
thing we
all
didn't rank was that we talked about it, the theme song though. You didn't rank it, bud, because I don't remember what your number one was.
I
Mine
mean,
was On Her Majesty's, bud.
my number one was probably
Oh
Diamonds.
yeah,
And
so
this is
probably Diamonds for you, right?
yeah, because it birthed a lyrical genius. Um, this is my new one.
Okay, wow.
I'm
Um,
huge. I like Wings. I
yeah,
like Paul McCartney. Like I said, he's my top three for classic music. Um, you
yeah,
know,
well, yeah. I figured we didn't rank it, so might as well.
yeah.
God damn, sorry everyone. One guy,
I'm allowed.
one person watching. If it's still Kevin, I don't know. But yeah, I think surprisingly solid outing from Mr. Moore. There'll definitely be a lot more to come from him. Any last thoughts on that, or anything you want to say about the movie, or?
No, I'm reading these chats now, and
Oh yeah.
we got one from a Joseph J. Pratt who said, "Hello, gentlemen. Please enjoy your day. I apologize for asking if the third podcaster needed a sweater. I promise I will not ask questions like it anymore." Joseph J. Pratt, if you're still listening, or if you listen later, hey, we don't give a shit. Like you be you, brother. We'll
Yeah,
roll
yeah. No need to apologize for
Yeah,
anything.
we'll roll with the punches. I am personally unapologetically me. I don't know who the third person was. If that was me or Duhamel or
We
was
do
it
have a
me?
lot of rotating.
Uh,
It could have been Chris. I don't know.
yeah.
Could have been Billy.
Hey, whoever needed the sweater, we'll figure it out. We'll get him a sweater if his nips were cut
Yeah,
glass.
was he was he offending you with his nips? With the
Yeah,
nips blasting you?
if
But no, yeah, that's fine. Mike's right. We don't. We're not offended in anything. Like we had Paul Feeders roll up last time and throw
hey,
shade, and I'm kind of sad
all
we haven't seen him since then. I
all
thought we had a new
press
number
is
one fan.
good press. Yeah,
Hmm.
I said all press is good press.
All press is good press. That's right. But yeah, that's gonna be probably it for us on Live and Let Die. Other chat we had was just for our friend Kevin. I think he disappeared. It's okay. We weren't very entertaining today. No big deal. But yeah, it's gonna be it for Live and Let Die. We'll be back. James Bonding for is Man with the Golden Gun. I think it is.
Yes. Yep.
The Man with the Golden Gun with Christopher Lee as Scaramanga. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys have listened this far, like shit, bro, you got nothing else to do with your life. But thank you. Go ahead and check us out on. I'm sure you're watching us on YouTube or Twitch, maybe Facebook. But go follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a Discord. Just search Gin and Sofa. There's also links and all those things you can click. We got a
Again,
Patreon where Mike's going to show you his notes.
Yeah. And again, like and subscribe. And if you did enjoy us, tell your friends. We are a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but I think you need to make money to be a Ponzi scheme. We're a Ponzi friend scheme, But I was gonna say also
we're
like
trying to be a Ponzi scheme.
yeah, that's all it is. Thanks, guys. The other thing was I couldn't remember, but I'm trying to make the Streamlabs we're using right now. The software you're using lets us make a website, a merch store, basically, and I'm trying to get that up so you guys can buy some hoodies if you want or shirts, some condoms and stuff. I don't know. Just implant Gin and Sofa right on the labia. That's what we're here for. And on that note, Gin and Sofa
Out.